And welcome back. This is the opening day stream. Now, I am not at opening day yet because I wanted to start the stream off with the preseason predictions. So these are game generated predictions on how the season is going to go. Uh, and they have predicted my team to finish first in the AL West. Well, I like that prediction. I'm hoping it's not too out there. I think my team is good enough. One of the best hitters will be my first baseman, of course. But a surprise on this list is Ken McKay. If he does that, if he plays like that well, I'm going to be super, super happy. Because that would be just way beyond anything I could predict for him. And this would be sorely needed. 14-8, a decent ERA, 200 innings. I would definitely take that. Honestly, my goal, obviously, is to win the division. My hope for this season is that we're going to be in one of three wildcard positions. So that's where I think we're going to be. Obviously, division is the goal 100%. So I am not going to dismiss any of this. 100% we're going to win the division this year. Now that's my new goal. Okay, let's go on. Okay, so in the last stream, I told you that I was going to tell you who made the cut. We had a few positional battles open because Albert was on the DL. Third base was open. Now, I had originally said that Novdeep was going to play third base and we'll just move things around. That's not going to happen anymore. I signed Kevin Hill to a minor league contract, and he played decently well for me to give him the job for 5 weeks. Mostly, he's getting the job because he can hit righties. He has nice power. His defense is horrendous. But Connors really, really played well during spring training. And under contract has a few decent, okay seasons. The last 2 seasons were okay. I'm perfectly happy with Connors being my off-the-bench infielder, who can definitely take over for Kevin Hill on defense. Very happy with that. It also means that Novdeep will be playing shortstop full-time, and Green will be playing second, which is what I want. I don't want them playing their other positions because it's not going to help my defense so much. Another position that was up for grabs was outfielders. And out of those 6 players that we had, that the outfield job has now come to Murdoch. I've given it to Murdoch. He played really well during spring training. A lot of it not in the starting role, but when he was starting, he was doing very well. Now, most of that because I had already picked him to make the team. So I was taking him out of the starting role and giving chances to Juan and Luis. But when Juan came out on top, it gave me a perfect clarity. So Luis in the minors, Juan starts against lefties in center field. Murdoch will start against righties, and will back up right field against lefties. It's perfect for me. It's perfect for the team. Also, Murdoch I didn't really have much of a choice. He played well enough that I wasn't willing to let him go. But also, since he was a Rule 5 draft pick, I kind of have to keep him on the roster for at least 90 days, or I do not. Or he goes back to being an Atlanta Brave after the season's over. So, exciting times here. Now, one of the biggest news for opening day this year, and biggest things for me that I'm surprised at myself that I've decided to do this, because I am really usually dead set against this, is Ravi, my number 1 prospect. The person who I've said multiple times I did not want making the roster because I don't think he's ready yet. At the same time, I really need some good defense, and he provides really good defense. He also played really well coming off the bench and starting during spring training. Leading the team in RBIs in spring training isn't a good modifier, but I'd take his average, his contact, and just overall consistency. And I've decided he's going to make the team. At least he'll be on the roster until Albert comes back. I feel it's the best thing for my team right now. During lefties, he'll play third base and start because Hill doesn't play very well against lefties. So it's a really good, will really help my defense and will give him major league experience. And also, he should be decent. Like, I don't, unless he hits really, really badly, I do not see him being sent down. Like, if he doesn't get a hit, or if he's having a rough stretch for the first 3 weeks of the season, I might send him down and wait till he's a little more developed. But at the moment, I'm hoping that doesn't happen, and I'm hoping being in the major leagues will help his development just a little bit faster, which will be great for me, right? Okay, so this is the team now. These are my lineups. Lefties, I got Danny second, Ken Novdeep, Juan. I'm going to have Age start more games against lefties, just because he's been used to starting, and he's not a bad catcher. Penn will start every fourth game. Against righties, Penn's my starting catcher. Age is the competent backup. Juan's going to be my third hitter. I like switching out the second hitters for that. Juan doesn't have enough speed for me, so I like him being in that cleanup role. Yeah, I'm a little bit old school with that, so that's my style. Joe doesn't have much speed either, but I like someone with a little bit of speed, so that's why Blackwell's here, and that's why Danny, who's not as speedy, but he's a good base running guy, is batting second against lefties. And obviously I am, if the way the predictions come out for him, if he does even like most of that, I'm going to be super excited. It will be a very crazy pickup off waivers, a steal for me. So, excited to see how this goes. Now, off to the pitching. As I did mention before, there was a couple pitchers who, well, they already made the roster. Like, they were already on the roster. Zach Miller, Steve Neal, Dave Montgomery, Juan Myers, and Josh Morales. The pitchers up for it: Lupe, Arturo, Jean, Jai, George, and Andy. As you can see by the roster, Arturo's here, Jai's here, and Jean's here. I decided to go with 3 relievers to start the season. We might cut that down. If I do not want to send Ravi down, I will send a reliever down when Alberto comes back. But right now, these guys pitch very well during spring training. Arturo is good backup for the starting rotation, so a great long guy, but he should be a decent reliever. Jay solid for me last year, so I think he deserves a shot in the roster. Will not be coming in like good games, so he'll be my middle relief guy when we're losing. Gene pitched very well in spring training and has pitched very well in the past, so I think this role will be perfect as my high leverage guy, but also normal middle relief. And as you know, the closer and setup guy were already set, and I really like Juan as the specialist, but also multi-inning reliever. Really good for that as a former closer as well. So, not afraid to bring him in. If last season stays exactly where it is, I'll be very impressed. And honestly, I can deal with giving up 16 home runs again, as long as the walks aren't as high as they were, but the walks stay the same rate. So, okay, now, off to the starting rotation. because of a few things that happened. Zach Gold got healthy fast, so faster than I expected, which is why I didn't mention Zach Gold on my post on the Alapur Baseball Forum or mention him in my last video as a possibility for the fifth starter job. When he got healthy, well, I kind of can't really do much. Either I release him or I keep him. He pitched pretty good in spring training. I forced that 35 pitch limit on his last game, so he only pitched 3 innings. But that's still really good. As a fifth starter, if you give me a chance to win in 50% of my starts, I'll take that. I've always said I want higher than that, but I'll take 50%. Now, with Zach Gold coming back, that means that I'd have to make some moves. Well, Pedrosa got sent down. Sewell got sent down. But I could not send Adams down. So I had to trade Steve Adams to Los Angeles. I got this minor league third baseman, 26 years old, not another infielder. Possibly could make the major leagues this year. Pretty good defense, so not too disappointed with that. And a 7th round draft pick. Had to give up a young second baseman, but I don't really have much room right now, so I'm fine with trading that. And Adams, if he develops, well, that just really sucks for me. But either way, I was probably going to lose him on waivers if I put him on waivers. So I figured trading was the next best thing. And I'll be really disappointed if he develops now that he's not on my team. But that's the way things go sometimes. So I'm gonna be good with it. I like where my team is at right now. I got some really good pitching, and we'll worry about the future in the future. I got enough depth in my starting pitching that I don't need Steve. So, okay. Yeah, so that is what's going on for opening day. And part of what I'm looking for this season is I need a little more consistency. There's no way that my team can be 15th in ERA, 14th in bullpen ERA. My pitching needs to be a lot better. And it's going to start to get incrementally better, but I don't expect top 5 staff. But at least 15th, at least in like the 10, 9, 8, 7 range would be great. So also, before opening day comes, this is what my owner is looking for. So I've completed this goal by getting a nationally popular player. Murdoch, I did not want to sign, and rightfully so. He's old, and I have a top prospect coming up soon. As I've mentioned, and my owner's mentioning, get the ERA down. I'm hoping left field is a better position this year. We'll see. That's why I have Greg, and I want to focus on him just being the left fielder, occasionally playing center field or right field, but I want him to be the left fielder so I can have a solid person there. Definitely, I think I should reach the playoffs as well. Last year was just really, really rough, so I kind of disappointed that my owner is getting mad at me for that. But I believe I'm a playoff team as long as everyone's healthy. All right. Up next. So yeah, I was talking about my minor leagues. I have a really good amount of depth this year for starting pitching. Sewell, Pedrosa, Bryson, Herdon. So, and I also have Alturo, who's on the Major League roster. My minor league bullpen isn't the greatest this year, but with Kennedy, Lupe, Maybell, they're all Major League ready pitchers. Even Soto. So, if I have any injuries or bullpen starts to falter, I am perfectly capable of filling the holes. Same thing with catcher and first base. First base, I'll lose a lot, but I'm not going to be like caught surprised. And honestly, every position at the moment, except really shortstop, if I lose like Green and Connors and Novdeep, I'm pretty solid at. Prospects I want to move forward this year. Well, as you know, these two guys, this guy, talked about this guy, he's up there. We already talked about Carter. Interesting guy got as part of the trade for Zach. I'm excited to see what he can do. I have him in Modesto. I haven't really gone through minor leagues yet, but I'm gonna do that in after this stream. I'll go through my leagues. He either is gonna start in Modesto, or I might put him up in Asheville, just to see, just to see if that's the best place for him. Because Asheville's a little short on outfielders right now. But he hasn't played anywhere else other than the rookie league, so he's an exciting prospect. Could be a decent hitter if he develops, and he is pretty young. So this is a good guy to pick up. Plus, all three outfield positions is what I'm looking for, and he has a good head on his shoulders. Doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, which is perfect for baseball. So, and as a guy who's going to be on my top prospects list, wonderful. Anyone under the radar this year? Not no one I haven't mentioned yet that I'm really looking at to make a jump out. Most of the guys I mention, they're on my top prospects list, or they've been someone who's just been struggling recently. Yeah, so I don't really see anybody. I've really been sad about Ken. Hasn't really shown anything yet. I'm gonna see if I can try and maybe give him a change of scenery. Maybe Modesto is not the place for him either, but it's been rough ever since I drafted him. So, like, it actually kind of makes me sad. Yeah, my Modesto team is kind of light, but I have some exciting people coming up from the lower team, and I want to make a mention after last season. After his horrible last season, he really stepped it up. I think another year, and he'll be playing in Modesto or Asheville by the end of the season. I see him being developing pretty quickly now that he's got some success under his belt. Okay, that's basically it for the opening day sim. I am excited to get this season started.